Shedeur Sanders deserved to finish off what he started. He had a bad day in the office with 2 minutes left in the game. Every quarterback's dream, even if it's preseason, dog, to go out there and win the game for your team with 2 minutes left, at least put them in field goal position with 2 minutes left. Why not give your young quarterback who you want to develop, who's in a QB competition, why not give him an opportunity to go out there? Crickets.
Hey, we live now, really.
So Shedeur Sanders, brother, I ain't been through exactly what you've been through or what you're going through, because when I was at Arkansas, that wasn't the NFL, but it was close to it. Shedeur Sanders, dog. Shedeur Sanders, you're going to be okay. Because Shedeur Sanders, guess what I know? I know that you haven't gotten any first team reps. I know that in that first preseason game that you played in, though they wasn't expecting you to do as well as you did. You proved the whole world wrong. From you looking out the progressions, you looking off the safety, because I play safety and I know how to look off of safety, because I know in the national championship game that I played in way back when, I had a quarterback look me off. Dog, my football IQ is fucking immaculate. So Shedeur Sanders, I understand what you're going through, my brother. Shedeur Sanders, you got to understand, man. God got bigger plans for you, baby. Your favorite player is Tom Brady, Shedeur. Guess who my favorite player is? That boy Tom Brady. Your dad is Deion Sanders. Guess who one of my favorite players was, and my mentor from a distance was Deion Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders, boy, you going to be just fine, dog. You going to be just fine, baby. But imagine with Shedeur Sanders, man, not getting any first team reps, just like I didn't. I didn't get no first team. I didn't get second team. I was out there playing with the fifth and sixth stringers when I was at Arkansas. So Shedeur Sanders, I understand how you're feeling, baby. Shedeur Sanders, I understand how you feeling, bro. But don't let them break you. Because at Arkansas, they broke me, man. They won. Because I didn't get kicked off. I walked away. But I walked away for bigger reasons, because I didn't like the person that I was turning into, because I wanted the NFL that bad. And I knew my ultimate goals for my life was me having a wife, kids, and a family. And if I didn't make it to the NFL, that didn't mean that I wasn't going to get those three things. And just because I made it to the NFL, that didn't mean that I wasn't going to buy my mama a house. So Shedeur Sanders, don't let them break you, dog. Because I was broken. But now I'm healed, baby. So the whole world, y'all know now my story. So if, yes, y'all came here for Shedeur Sanders, but go ahead, we'll wind this video back and listen to Mr. Wilson's story, and you'll understand. But speaking on Shedeur, though, let me stay on Shedeur. My bad, y'all. Let me stay on Shedeur. Shedeur, I understand that when you played in that first preseason game, Shedeur, you had two quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, just happened to have hamstring injuries a day or two before your first preseason game. After you didn't get no reps with the first team, a second team. Shedeur Sanders, you went out there with the second team and did your motherfucking thing that first preseason game, and it shocked all their ass. With no reps, Shedeur Sanders, I saw and I see that you practicing with the goddamn equipment managers before the game and after the game. Because that's what I did at Arkansas. I was out there on Saturdays and Sundays with no fucking body out there going over shit on cans. Having to play with the equipment managers and shit. Because they didn't believe in me or they didn't want to give me a chance. But in hindsight, it's 2020. They would have gave me a chance in the spring because in the spring they would have had no other choice but to give Mr. Wilson a chance. But I didn't see that through. But that's another story for another day. But Shedeur, I know you out there playing with the equipment managers, dog, before and after practice. I know Shedeur Sanders, you the first one in and the last one out because that's how you was raised. Because that's what I learned from Deion Sanders. But Mr. Wilson, you know, I'm a little late to some things, so I ain't learned that all the way from Deion Sanders. But Shedeur, you his son, so I know he taught you well. And you a quarterback. I know you the first one in, last one out. But Shedeur, you the first one in, last one out, and they still ain't giving you no first team reps. Shedeur Sanders, after what you did in that first preseason game when they wanted to set you up for failure with Kenny Pickett, because Joe Flacco wasn't going to play in that first preseason game regardless. But when they said Dylan Gabriel got a hamstring injury, Kenny Pickett got a hamstring injury, y'all motherfuckers don't even get touched during practice. I know if you can't get touched at a Division I school in Arkansas, if you touch the quarterback, you get sent home for the day. I know in the NFL, they ain't touching these quarterbacks during practice. And then it's the first week of preseason. Dog, who the hell is y'all fooling? Who are y'all fooling, NFL? Cleveland Browns? Who are y'all fooling? Y'all set up Shedeur for failure the first game. But he went out there and balled with the second teamers, the players who actually are going to be on the team. But I'm going to get there. Hold on. I'm going to keep this short, y'all, because I don't want to keep y'all here for too long. But, man, you know, it is what it is. But Shedeur, the play, I thank God that you didn't play in that second preseason game and you got that oblique injury. Wink, wink. Shedeur Sanders, I know you know, I thank God that you ain't playing that second preseason game because guess what they had to do? Dylan Gabriel had to magically become healthy again, right? You just had a hamstring injury last week, but now you magically healthy to start in the second game? Everybody saying Dylan Gabriel looks great. Yeah, you look great. Because if y'all don't know how football works, let me put on my football IQ hat real quick. The first 15 to 20 plays in the offense are scripted. The first 15 to 20 plays, maybe more, especially in the preseason, are scripted. So Dylan Gabriel, in the second preseason game, you know why he looked so good? And then he started throwing a pick six, and then he had a fumble, is because, those first couple of drives, quick hits. Dylan Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel, you got an arm, dog. Dylan Gabriel, I'm not saying you not him. I'm not saying you not good. You just not better than Shedeur Sanders. Dylan Gabriel, you ain't, and Kevin Stefanski, you ain't fooling nobody. Dog, you look good that second preseason game, the first couple series, because it's scripted. Because your coach tells you the first 15 to 20 plays that you're going to run before you go out there and you run those 15 to 20 plays. But then, you see, when you start throwing an interception, you get off script and it's not scripted anymore. You throw an interception. You have a fumble. Make it make sense. Mr. Wilson was not born yesterday. Mr. Wilson's football IQ is very high. I had an opportunity to play for the Texas Longhorns and at Arkansas University. Stop playing with me, dog. I know my football. Mr. Wilson, I played safety, dog. I knew what everybody was doing on the defense. I was a quarterback for the defense. I know football. Another story for another day, though. Let's continue with Shedeur Sanders. So, fast forward to the game yesterday. Joe Flacco comes out. He goes 9 for 10. Joe Flacco comes out, plays majority of the first quarter. Why are we seeing a 40-year-old Joe Flacco play? When y'all saw what he did a couple years ago when he was at Cleveland, when he led them on that 5-game winning streak, when he took them to the playoffs, then sucked it up when he got to the first round of the playoffs, threw interceptions and had fumbles a couple years ago. Then last year when Joe Flacco was playing for the Indianapolis Colts, he was ass.
I lived in Indianapolis for damn near 4.5 years. You don't think I still watch the Indianapolis Colts games? Joe Flacco, you were ass. You were garbage last year playing for the Indianapolis Colts. You're old. You're slow. You know what the announcer said yesterday, just making fun of things? The announcer said yesterday that Joe Flacco kids didn't even believe that he was a starter. The announcer said Joe Flacco told them that, yeah, I had to tell my kids that I was a starter, and they didn't even believe me until they saw it come out on their TikTok. They saw it come out on the news. Even your kids know that you shouldn't be no goddamn quarterback, dog. You should be fucking taking care of them, taking them to school, fucking hanging out with your wife, retired. Don't get me wrong, Joe. Get your money, Joe. But, Joe, let's look at your contract. You got incentives for being on a roster. You got incentives for playing in so many games during the regular season. Incentives not really supposed to hit for a quarterback until you get to the postseason. Why do you have incentive? Anyway, I'm not even going to get off topic like that. Going back to the game yesterday. Joe Flacco, you went 9 for 10 because the first 10 plays were scripted. You went 9 for 10. Did the LA Rams, you know what the LA Rams did yesterday? The LA Rams only traveled 48 players. The LA Rams didn't play not one of their starters. The LA Rams played their second team and third team players majority of the game, at least on defense. The LA Rams kept majority of their starters at home. The LA Rams played their second team and third team for most of the game. And then when Shedeur Sanders came in, guess what kind of who was playing on the LA Rams defense when Shedeur Sanders came in? Do you think it was a second team, third team, or fourth team? It was their second team when Shedeur Sanders came in. Fact check it. Look it up. Anyway, another story for another day. Let's continue. Dylan Gabriel, when you came in, Kevin Stefanski getting you in rhythm. Kevin Stefanski ain't giving you 10 and 15-yard routes like he gave Shedeur Sanders. Routes that have to develop. Kevin Stefanski let you go out there with the second team. Kevin Stefanski scripted your first 10 to 15 plays. That's why you look so good. And that's why you kind of missed some throws too. So you ain't looked all that good yesterday. You looked hype. Your plays were scripted, dog. Joe Flacco, your plays are scripted. Y'all going against LA Rams second team. They ain't even playing not one starter. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting passionate. If my voice, my mic is going crazy, my bad, y'all. But as y'all can see, I'm very passionate about this because I've been through what Shedeur Sanders is going through. I just ain't do it at the NFL level. But the SEC is the next closest thing to the NFL, is it not? I'll wait. Where do most of the NFL players come from? I'll wait. Oh, okay. But Mr. Wilson don't know what he's talking about. Really don't know what he's talking about. Maine don't know what he's talking about. Stop playing with me, dog. I know my football. That's the one thing. I played football from the age of 7 all the way up until a couple years ago when I stopped playing at Arkansas. And even after I left Arkansas, even after Mr. Wilson left playing at Arkansas University, he went to another school, but he, that's another story. We ain't going to talk about that school. We ain't going to talk about that. That's another story for another day. But anyway, back to Shedeur Sanders. How come Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, they look so good in the first half, and then they getting into rhythm, they getting short throws. Running game is going well. But then when Shedeur Sanders gets in, I see wide receivers wearing the number 30. Who the hell, what kind of wide receiver wears the number 30? Please type in Google and show me one NFL player playing in the NFL right now wearing number 30. That's actually on the 53-man roster for an NFL team. Shedeur Sanders in that third quarter, in that fourth quarter. Shedeur, you didn't play well yesterday. Shedeur Sanders, you did not play well yesterday. You didn't. Because there was a couple times where you took sacks. Bro, just throw the ball away. But Shedeur Sanders, you know why I respect why you didn't throw the ball away? Because you're a fucking competitor. Because you wanted to put on a show for them fans who was wearing number 12. Because you wanted to put on a show for them fucking coaches who don't even believe in you. So I understand, Shedeur Sanders, why you didn't throw the ball away. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse my language, man. Fathers, excuse my language. I'm sorry. But Shedeur,
Yes, with him not playing yesterday. Why is he throwing to wide receivers wearing number 30? Why didn't he at least get one or two wide receivers who plays on the second team, who's actually going to be on the final 53-man roster? How come he didn't play with anybody that was actually going to be on the 53-man roster in that second half yesterday? How come he didn't play with the tight end that he played with in the first preseason game that he played in? How come he didn't play with a few of the running backs in that first preseason game that he played with? How come you didn't let Shedeur Sanders at least have one or two drive with some of those second stringers, but you're putting them out there with third and fourth and fifth stringers? You're putting them out there with wide receivers wearing number 30. You're calling 10 and 15 play routes that take a while to develop. You ain't letting them get in the rhythm and calling curls, calling slants, letting them throw quick game. Yes, it was a few times that Shedeur could have stepped in the part, stepped in front, stepped in. It's a few times during the game. Shedeur Sanders could have stepped in the pocket. Yes, that is factual. It's a few times in the game. Shedeur Sanders could have just threw the ball away. It's a few times in the game. Shedeur could have helped himself out. But he didn't, bruh. Because he was trying to satisfy that bogus-ass coaching staff. He was trying to show the fans some love that came out there and that's wearing his jersey. He just wanted to be a competitor. And you know the shit that really grinded my gears? And the reason why I'm so pissed off is because after y'all set up Shedeur Sanders up for failure, after he had such a bad day in the office, he had an opportunity. Shedeur Sanders had an opportunity. Shedeur Sanders had an opportunity to go out there with 2 minutes left in the game. Shedeur Sanders had an opportunity to go out there with 2 minutes left in the game and still win it. But you're gonna put on Shedeur Sanders. Let me say this correctly. Shedeur Sanders had an opportunity to finish that game yesterday. After having such a bad day, after taking so many sacks, after not being in rhythm, after having 10 to 15-yard routes, Shedeur Sanders had an opportunity to go into that game with 2 minutes left. He was not injured, and he was not hurt. He was not injured, and he was not hurt. Kevin Stefanski, you put Huntley in. Why? You put Snoop Huntley in when Snoop Huntley is a 4 or 5 year vet in the NFL. Snoop Huntley is a 4 to 5 year vet in the NFL. Snoop Huntley backed up Lamar Jackson. Snoop Huntley has played in a playoff game and started a fucking playoff game. Excuse my language. Snoop Huntley doesn't need to go out there for the last 2 minutes of a fucking game. Shedeur Sanders deserved to finish off what he started. He had a bad day in the office with 2 minutes left in the game. Every quarterback's dream, even if it's preseason, dog, to go out there and win the game for your team with 2 minutes left, at least put them in field goal position with 2 minutes left. Why not give your young quarterback who you want to develop, who's in a QB competition, why not give him an opportunity to go out there? Crickets. Snoop Huntley, did he need to go out there for the last 2 minutes when he hasn't played the whole goddamn game, bruh? When he's already a 4 or 5 year vet? When he's backed up Lamar Jackson for 3 years? When he's played in a playoff game? What more film does he need? You're cutting him today or tomorrow. Fact check me. I guarantee you Snoop Huntley is cut today or tomorrow by the Cleveland Browns. So Kevin Stefanski, if you come back and say, oh, I wanted him to get a little film so for other teams out there, you're fucking lying, dog. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I already cursed a few times. Hey, God forgive me. But seriously, though, think about that, y'all. Snoop Huntley, you go out there in the last 2 minutes when you haven't played the whole game. You're a 4 or 5 year vet that doesn't need any of that extra film. You only came into camp because they needed an extra arm because Kenny Pickett got hurt, Shedeur Sanders got hurt, and then also Dylan Gabriel was hurt once upon a time. So you only brought him in there to be an extra arm. He wasn't getting any reps anyway. Shedeur Sanders is in a QB competition. Wouldn't you want to see your young QB in a QB competition go out there with the last 2 minutes left in the game to show himself, to prove that he can battle back from the adversity that he's had to overcome since the day he got drafted, and the day that he had a terrible day in the office, getting sacked, not throwing the ball away? When you want to see your rookie quarterback go out there in the last 2 minutes and show himself, show that, hey, coach, I had a bad day in the office, but I took us down the field with 2 minutes left, put us in field goal position, or I took us down there with 2 minutes left, scored a touchdown, and we still won the game. But no, Kevin Stefanski, I hope you get fired, dog. I hope you get fired. I hope the Cleveland Browns don't win a game all season, dog, unless Shedeur Sanders is playing quarterback. Dog, why you do that to Shedeur, bruh? He was raised right, bruh. He's practicing with equipment managers before and after practices, trying as hard as he can, putting in the effort for you goddamn motherfuckers trying to dangle a carrot in front of his face saying, come get it, come get it. Y'all already proved the point to him when he was drafted 144th when he should have been a first-round pick. What more do you have to prove? And for Kevin Stefanski, you're lucky I don't know you. Because I would have had some choice words and some choice actions for you, dog. And I'm just being honest, and I'm not even that kind of person. That's not even in my spirit or my soul. But Kevin Stefanski, what you did to him yesterday, bruh, a blind man can see y'all don't want him to succeed. A blind man can see that y'all don't want him to be successful. A blind man can see that y'all only wanted to exploit him and collect that $250 million that you collected, and he hasn't even taken a snap. You collected $250 million off of exploiting Shedeur Sanders, saying that it's a QB competition when he hasn't got a first-team rep all camp or a second-team rep besides when he had to come in when you had those two quarterbacks injured. You had two quarterbacks injured, right? Kevin Stefanski, you had two quarterbacks injured, so that was the only reason he had to go out there with your second-teamers, right, for the first preseason game and still balled. So then, you know what you want to do, Kevin Stefanski, yesterday? You wanted to make everybody's last impression of Shedeur Sanders be, look at him drifting in the pocket. Look at him. He can't even operate the offense. Look at him, how horrible he looks. Instead of us saying, dang, Shedeur had a bad day, but at least he took the team down the field in that last 2-minute drill and they won the game. He led them to a field goal. He threw a touchdown. He had a bad day in the office, but he battled back through adversity. How come that couldn't be the headline, Kevin Stefanski? How come you had to put Huntley in, who's a 4 or 5 year vet, who's played for Lamar Jackson, who started a playoff game? You wanted to get him more film? That's not what you said, but I know that's what you're going to say tomorrow, this upcoming week, when people start asking you, oh, we wanted to throw him in there for the last 2 minutes so that way we can show other teams that he can operate in a 2-minute drill. Instead of saying, hey, our young quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, go out here and battle back from the horrible day you didn't have and lead us down the field for a score in this last 2-minute drill. How hard is that? But you didn't want to see him succeed. You didn't want him to be successful. You didn't want him to go out there and leave a good impression in people's. You didn't want him to go out there and leave a good impression after having such a bad day. Y'all have set this man up for failure. Y'all have exploited him. Y'all have spit on. Without actually spitting on, y'all have spit in the face of Deion Sanders and his family. After all he has done for you. Deion Sanders is a great human being. But he says one thing. Do not allow my self-confidence and self-belief to offend your insecurities. You mad at Shedeur Sanders because he's confident? You mad at Shedeur Sanders because he was raised right? You mad at Shedeur Sanders because of what? All last year, we heard it was going to be him or Cam Ward. Him or Cam Ward. Then we hear about Jackson Dart. Then we hear about him sliding. Then you take top. Boy, the last thing I'm going to say, y'all, because I didn't say all my points, y'all. I didn't say all my points. I didn't say most of them. Because yesterday, if you want to see, type in Twitter if you want to see my rant. All right. If you want to see me kind of go off a little bit. All right. But I'm done, man. Because this whole situation, man, a blind man can see it. Y'all wanted to prove a point, bro. But what point are you actually proving than hurting somebody who has only wanted to be what his dad was? He wanted to get drafted before his dad was drafted. His dad was drafted like 4th or 5th. He wanted to be a number 2 or 3, top 3 pick to get drafted in front of his dad. And you took that away from him. Now, you don't give him any first team reps or second team reps after him looking so good in that first preseason game. Because usually when you look good in a preseason game, you look good in spring ball, they give you a few more reps. That's how they do it in Division I at Arkansas. That's how they did it. Because I started getting a little bit more reps. We'll talk about that another day. That's how they do it in the NFL usually. You look good in the preseason. Oh, let's see how you look with the ones. Let's see how you look with the twos. Shedeur Sanders has not taken a rep with the first team all summer, all preseason, all camp. It's factual. Look it up. It's been documented. It's been written about. Shedeur Sanders has only practiced ever with the second team, and that was because Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett was hurt. And that was because you threw him in the fire after he didn't have any first team or second team reps all week. And then you said, hey, Shedeur, you're starting. So you had no other choice but to give him the second team reps, but you still ain't giving him any first team reps because you let Flacco take the first team reps still, all of them. So y'all tell me, is it a conspiracy theory or not? Is Mr. Wilson going crazy or is he just spitting facts? I'll wait. But anyway, now to the comments, man. To the comments. All right. All right. First comment we got. It says, I guess the Browns fan base is putting away the sewing kit for the gold jacket. Dog, Shedeur, he going to be just fine. He just won't be fine in Cleveland. What's going to happen in Cleveland? You know why God don't like ugly? What's going to happen in Cleveland? Joe Flacco going to get knocked out with the first couple of games because, dog, he playing the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, he's playing all teams that made the playoffs last year. So you're going to sleep old Joe. I need to start calling him Sleepy Joe. Like they call Joe Biden, I'm going to call Joe Flacco Sleepy Joe. So you're finna Sleepy Joe go out there and he going to get replaced real quick. Kenny Pickett, how the hell is Kenny Pickett second on the depth chart? He ain't taking no reps since the first week of July. How is Kenny Pickett second on the depth chart when he's been injured with a hamstring and hasn't taken any second team or first team reps or taken any reps at that? He didn't play all preseason, but he's still in front of Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel. I can even see, you can put Dillon Gabriel there, and I wouldn't have no problem. But how is Kenny Pickett there when he hasn't done anything? Yes, he's a former first-round pick, but he shouldn't have even been that. They didn't want him they didn't want him when he played for the Steelers. They didn't want him when he played for the Eagles. And now, y'all all of a sudden want him? The proof is in the pudding. Kenny Pickett can't play. And I hope you prove me wrong, Kenny Pickett. I don't like speaking bad on nobody. But we'll see. All right. Second comment. How you going to trade someone nobody obviously wanted? Buddy fell to the 5th round. Nobody is desperate for a QB. And no team wants that PR only if his dad and friends does him a favor. All right, so Jeremy Simmons, super chat comment. I respect what you're saying, Jeremy. Jeremy, you got to understand, though. Dog. Eric Dickerson came out and exposed the NFL last week. Eric Dickerson said last week, what did he say? Eric Dickerson said, dog, at the end of the day, they conspired against Shedeur Sanders. They told all the NFL teams, don't draft Shedeur Sanders. And look why they didn't draft Shedeur Sanders. But then the only reason why they drafted him, because it was looking so bad. Mel Kiper Jr. had Shedeur rated ahead of Cam Ward. When Mel Kiper Jr. has been doing this before you was alive and me. So is Mel Kiper Jr., does he not know what he's talking about? I mean, he's the expert. He's been doing this for many years. Okay. And then you said nobody, I guarantee, put Shedeur on a waiver wire. I guarantee somebody pick him up. Let's test this theory. I want you to start a petition. Trade Shedeur, trade Shedeur. And I guarantee somebody, because you're saying nobody want him, but that team, LA Rams, guess who back hurt now? Matthew Stafford. Guess who I thought Daniel was going to take Shedeur Sanders, the LA Rams, because Matthew Stafford, the boy damn near 30-40. He having back issues. He about to retire. He already got a Super Bowl ring. Watch what happens in LA. Watch what happens to the Rams. But you said nobody wants Shedeur. Okay, Jeremy. Then he said they should cut him and watch who claims him off wires. That will tell all. That's a fact. You know something? I'm happy you said that, Jeremy, because you know what kind of business the NFL is? The NFL is a business where it's like, what have you done for me lately? So how is Kenny Pickett still on the team? And he hasn't played a snap since July. He hasn't played a snap since July. Let's make it make sense. And you saying nobody wants Shedeur. And if teams wanted him, they'll be lining up. Dog. Watch Cleveland not release him. Because guess what? Eventually, the cream going to rise to the top. And eventually, Kenny Pickett going to get hurt again. Joe Flacco going to get hurt again. And Dylan Gabriel going to get out there and look like trash. Watch what I say. I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope Shedeur next year he get a real opportunity. But that's the thing. That's another point. Yesterday could have been the last opportunity in that 2-minute drill that we see Shedeur all year. Because once you have your starting quarterback, you don't go off of him unless they lose him. So why not want to see a rookie quarterback just see what he can do in an actual game situation, even though it's preseason, in a 2-minute drill? Answer me that, Jeremy, but let's keep talking. I hope they cut QB number 12 this week. The Cleveland Browns are clowns, are straight up garbage. John, I agree with that. Next comment, it says, so why are you not in the NFL then? I'm not in the NFL because shit, I gave up on myself. The fuck? I can say that. So SO to trans, yes, I'm not in the NFL, dog, because I walked away. Because you know, so I'm ready. I didn't have to go chase out the carrot. I didn't have to do any of those things. God told me that if the most important things to you, son, is having a family, having a wife, having kids, and taking care of your family, and eventually buying your mother a house, guess what? You can hop on this podcast, sit in the comfort of your home, and make it. And I don't got to chase a carrot. I don't got to have somebody telling me, hey, you can't play today. Hey, you got to sit on the bench behind a freshman. So, yes, I'm not in the NFL because I decided to walk away from a Division I school when all I had to do was sit on the bench and I still would have had my Division I opportunity. So, yes, Mr. Wilson, he quit prematurely. Mr. Wilson should have stayed at Arkansas for a little longer. That's factual. But guess what? This is my life, not yours. Did you have a chance to go to the NFL? Did you play Division I football? I'm just asking. Anyway, but they didn't. Now you're here. Stop living in your glory days. Move on and get the fuck off the internet and work on your soul. Bro, my soul is better than yours, dog. Because you sitting here in my comments talking shit. But I love it because now that's a beautiful thing, boy. Because guess what? Haters going to always hate. They gonna always talk. You feel me? And that's the beautiful thing about life. If you have self-belief like I do, because dog, you just don't know. You commenting, that's making me, dog, make it make sense. You said, how come you ain't in the NFL? How come you gotta work on your soul? Dog, you sitting here watching me, commenting on my stuff. What you doing in your life? Comment down below, let me know. And so, hey, any of my kids I was watching, any of my old students I was watching and all that, y'all know this kind of soul Mr. Wilson got. Mr. Wilson don't got to explain himself to nobody, so I'm sorry that I even went into an explanation. But anyway, let's continue. I love these comments. I love it. Engagement is getting for real. Do you believe Shedeur Sanders will make the Bucs squad? Nah, Shiloh got released. Shiloh messed himself up. He let who was that? Zach. He let somebody hit him. He let somebody rile him up. But I honestly, in my opinion, Shiloh was always the brother who really, like, he wasn't. I never thought Shiloh was that good. I never thought Shedeur Sanders was that good. So I like, he messed himself up. He potentially could have made it on the practice squad, but with him punching the tight end, that kind of got him riled up. And yes, I was deliberate. Yes, if you watch the video, Shedeur Sanders, yes, he shouldn't have punched the dude in the face because you only hurt yourself, Shiloh. But at the same time, I would never been big on Shiloh. Shiloh, I love you. You're a great human. You're a great person. But I never thought your football abilities was that good. Even when you was at Colorado, you cost Colorado a game or two. Yes, you came back from injury, but Shiloh, I never thought you was that good. I love Shiloh. I love the Sanders family, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm not a big fan of Shiloh. He's a great human. Me and Shiloh would kick it on a regular, like if we was buddies, but he's just not that good at a football player. I feel like I was a better safety than him. Check my highlight tape. Why do you assume that Shedeur will be able to reach field goal range? The reason why I assume Shedeur will be able to reach field goal range, because, dog, he just played like shit. Look at his track record. Bruh, he did it at Jackson State multiple times. He did it at Colorado multiple times. The first game he played at Colorado, they went down and beat TCU, who just came off a national championship. Dog. And this is why I'm so frustrated that I didn't hop back on the pod last year when Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter and all them boys was at Colorado still and doing their thing. And that's on me for not, hopping on here and doing my due diligence and hopping on here and speaking in front of y'all, because they took a program that was 1-11, one of the worst programs in college football history, took them to 4 and I think, 4-9, 4-8, and then they took them to 9-4 in a bowl game. Dog. They turned the program around, whether you want to accept it or not. They had a Heisman Trophy winner, whether you want to give it to them or not. It's factual evidence, dog. So, yes. Like, I think Shedeur would have drove him down the field in those last 2 minutes, and it would have been just fine. Yes. I appreciate these comments, though. He said, no, it's not a conspiracy. You're crazy. I've been called crazy most of my life, dog, and I didn't accomplish more than you. You on my comments. Dog, you commenting on my stuff. So who really the crazy one? You ain't here bothering me. But I love it because you increasing my engagement, so thank you. If you want to send me a couple dollars too, I'll take that. But, dog, you sitting here in my comments, you're making me money as we speak. Are you an idiot or are you just dumb? I played Division I football. I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm still not done yet. I'm okay. Dog, I'm okay with where I'm at in my life. I have so much more in store. You are just, bro, you in my comments. You making me money. Like, let's make it make sense. Bro, that's why, hey, don't ever let the trolls get to you or anything. That is hilarious, though. You're making me money, dog. Keep on commenting. Because every comment, my bank account doing this. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. My mama might get another house. Did you buy your mama a house? Joey D, did you buy your mama a house? Oh, okay. Anyway, check Mel's record. It's really bad. There are tons of YouTube videos. Mel Kiper's record? Bro, Mel, you bringing up, bro, Mel Kiper, bruh. He's a legend, dog. Everybody's, bro, we're not perfect. We're all wrong at times. But Mel Kiper, he was the only one who stood up for Shedeur. That's why Mel Kiper will always be good in my book. Just throwing it out there. I love your comments though, dog. I love it because hey, I love it. You awesome for this. Keep it up. D1 college at that. He said college is college. D1 college at that. You ask questions, 5 live viewers is making bank, bruh, dog. But you one of my viewers, dog. Do you see how many, dog? Hey, Joey D, dog. You got to crawl before you can walk. Right now, Mr. Wilson crawling. But today it might be 5 viewers. Tomorrow it might be 6. It might be 10 and 11. Bro, I'm okay with that. You got to crawl before you can walk, baby. I love your engagement, though, Joey D. Keep on commenting, boy. You a bad boy. 3 watching, started streaming 2 hours ago. Yeah, because I done hit about 5, 10 topics. Hey, Joey D, I love you. I appreciate you, baby. And Mr. Wilson, I got other stuff to do. I got to hop over here. The 2 hours this has taken most of my day. But anyway, I just wanted to read a couple comments. Joey D, SO to you, bro. I love my haters because haters, like I said, you make me money as we speak. Okay. But also, Joey D, I haven't streamed in like over a year, dog. Make it make sense. I know I got to build my followers and my stuff back up. It's just the beginning. Go back to the beginning of this video, Joey D, and you might have to listen to what I was saying because you might need a little bit of that in your life. The journey, baby. The journey. Embrace the journey. Love the journey. Joey D, you intrude in my journey, and I thank you. I thank you. 3 viewers. Yes, I love my 3 viewers. I love them. God is so good, boy. But I said I was gonna read the comments, so y'all, all right. I said a lot today. Shedeur, I don't know exactly what you're going through, brother. I don't know exactly what you're experiencing, but just know it's a light at the end of the tunnel. To my kids out there who I coached before, who I've, if I impacted your life in some way, I hope you guys can learn from my story. And I hope that you can, just take one thing out of my story that's going to be inspirational to you. All right. Never stop going after your dreams. Never stop going after your goals. You have to believe in yourself, believe in where you're headed and where you're going. And please, please trust God. Trust God. Because I wouldn't have got to Marion University. I wouldn't have made it to Arkansas. And I wouldn't be here talking in front of y'all right now if it wasn't for that big man upstairs. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, baby. Trust in him. You understand me? Joey D, SO to you. SO to the other people in the comments. I told y'all we was going to get to Shedeur. I appreciate y'all sticking around, hanging out, and waiting until we got to Shedeur. I got a lot of other stuff going on right now. In a couple weeks, I'll update y'all as far as my case goes. Because Mr. Wilson got a little case going on, with lawsuit and things of that nature. So I'll continue to update you guys with that, but I didn't want to really talk about it in this video, and I won't be talking about it. That'll be like a separate video, separate thing, separate ordeal. But it's been fun though. It's been fun. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this story, it does something for one of y'all. And there's a lot of things that I left out. So if y'all ever want to, ask me in the comments something, if you ever want to hit me up, feel free to pop back in here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. And thank you for coming back to Golden Gemz Media. Hey, it's a journey, baby. You got to crawl before you can walk. I'm out here balling like Gino, baby. I'm out here balling like my best friend, man. Rest in heaven, brother. I miss you. I love you. To all y'all out there, man, like I said, hey, believe in your journey, man. Believe in where you're headed and where you're going. Trust yourself. Trust your ability. And don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not him and you're not her. Love your journey, man. It's uniquely yours. So, hey, I love you. I appreciate you. God bless you. And, hey, Mr. Wilson. Ow. Deuces.
Hey, we live now, really.